I am a time traveler operating in three spaces or dimensions of time. I am from the future. And when I'm in 2023, where the world is defined by the rich against the poor, most developed countries against the least developed ones, in the mental prison of differences in color, races, tribes, languages, countries and continents, where Africa is still disunited and poor, and where the world is defined by differences of every other aspect, as opposed to similarities. I am living and operating in the past. When in the second dimension or space of time, which is a future of the first dimension, but a past of the third, I live in a world where Africa is well connected, with high-speed logistics corridors of highly advanced technologies for freight and passengers, running east, west, south and north, with well master-planned and developed green smart special economic zone cities at key intervals of every after 200 to 300 kilometers all along these corridors. An Africa where the once unemployed youth are well incubated, mentored through functional education, and turned into entrepreneurs with availability of the right type of capital, patient capital, at their disposal, creating highly competitive and sustainable small and medium enterprises, key to growth of any economy. An Africa where an average African live a highly productive life with exciting per capita income. That's the Africa I live in. I live in an Africa where pipelines for gas, hydrogen, and water, smart grids for power, fiber optic cables, and other advanced technologies providing super fast internet to populations are all collocated in these corridors rights of way, well master planned in a holistic manner, delivering a wide range of services and products to the masses all along the corridors. That's the Africa I live in. I live in an Africa where air transport infrastructure, road, water and railway are all developed to a world-class standard within the green aspect and with state-of-the-art technologies, delivering efficiency at its best and effectiveness in terms of cost. I live in an Africa where the natural resources are no longer extracted and shipped to the foreign markets, but rather extracted and added on value within the continent, creating circular value chains, center to a sustainable economy on the continent. An Africa where the mineral resources are innovatively used as the engine powering an Africa designed the financial architecture nucleus to a financially independent Africa. That's the Africa I live in. I live in an Africa united in political, social, and economic aspects of life, where our brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, and grandparents are no longer in diaspora, but in their motherland, in joy, peace, love, and harmony. That's the Africa I live in. An integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by Africans, representing a dynamic force in the global arena. In other words, an Africa which is the engine powering the global economy, a global powerhouse, so to speak. And that's the Africa I live in. I live in an Africa where the diplomats and affluent people are no longer taken to United States of America and Europe or Asia for treatment, but rather receiving treatment within their continent as a result of well-established world-class health facilities all over the continent. I live in an Africa which is not only globally competing in technology arena, but also leapfrogging technology and setting up new trends in that industry. An Africa that is respected around the globe and the black race. And that's the second dimension of time I am living in. In the third dimension, where I permanently dwell, is a planet Earth that is defined by one big similarity of being humans as the unifying factor of all Earthlings. A planet beyond the boundaries of races, tribes, skin colors, languages, nations, and continents. I live on a planet where universal love is like music, where you don't need to understand the language of from which tribe, country, race, or continent is the singer, but rather enjoy the melodies and everything else follows. That's the planet I live on. Globally, military expenditure reached a record high of $2,240 billion in 2022. On the planet where I dwell, such an unnecessary spending stopped a long period of time ago, and that money is all diverted to the well-being of the earth dwellers. That's the planet I live on, where the word poor is defined by a certain level of richness, not living standards as it is today. I live on a planet where death and fear of death is a myth to the earthlings, and where humans are multiplanetary species as a mechanism of, among other things, to keep balance of the planet's population. When I say this, I picture you smiling in disbelief of the highest order, perhaps thinking I am crazy. But hey, listen to these three examples and you will realize what I'm talking about here. The three things that claims lives the most are diseases and ailments of every nature, accidents, and aging, most especially in the most developed economies or worlds. As I speak today, technology is advancing at very fast speed, that the vehicles being made, starting with automobiles, can detect an accident before it happens, and it either reduces the speed or stops itself, thanks to artificial intelligence and efforts of Elon Musk leading that direction, and that too of making the humans a multiplanetary species, already sending rovers to other planets like Mars. In other words, the world is entering an era of accident-free technology. People will soon no longer be dying from accidents. Still, through the use of artificial intelligence, our day-to-day gadgets, vehicles, houses are soon gonna be our medical doctors. For example, our smartphones, which are gonna soon be wearables, will tell us what to eat and what not to, depending on the diagnostics of our bodies. Our toilets will soon be able to diagnose our urine and stool and prescribe for you what to take to avoid a disease that will attack you in 5 or 10 years to come. That way, we are going to be able to prevent diseases which are curable and incurable today before they attack us. Death of humans from diseases is no longer going to be in existence in a near or far future. As I speak today, doctors are already working on how to reverse the aging process at a molecular level. This means that at a certain point in time, people will no longer be dying from aging. With all the above examples, it is our duty all to make the world a better place. Let's join our hands together, transform the African continent and our planet.